After your net worth crosses a particular threshold, the money you've gathered stops being a passive pile of cash and starts recruiting. It begins hiring help. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on that exact moment, the $100,000 frontier. This is the story of how your finances graduate from a solo operation into a managed enterprise, and the precise blueprint to get your money to that hiring stage. Think of your first $100,000 in total assets, your savings, investments, retirement funds, minus any debts, not as a number, but as your financial enterprise's founding team. You are the sole overworked employee. Every new dollar is a task you personally have to complete through your labor, your discipline, your sheer effort. The growth feels linear because it is. You trade your time for money, you save a portion, and the number climbs because of you. This is the bootstrapping phase. It's demanding. It's why so many people feel their finances are on life support, constantly needing their direct attention to survive. The brutal truth is, below this line, your money is not an asset, it's a dependent. Let's give this founding team a face. Meet Rohan. Rohan is 28, he's been working hard, and he's finally built his foundational team, his net worth, to $75,000. It's sitting in a mix of a savings account and a retirement fund. Rohan's financial enterprise operates like this. He works his job, earns $3,000 after taxes, and manually allocates $500 to his enterprise each month. His enterprise's growth is 100% tied to Rohan's personal labor. If he stops contributing, the growth nearly stops. The enterprise has no capacity to generate its own momentum. Now, let's meet Chloe. Chloe has crossed the frontier. Her financial enterprise, her net worth, is $150,000, and it's strategically deployed. A core portion is in a low-cost fund that tracks the entire stock market. Last year, that fund returned 10%. Do the math. Chloe's enterprise generated $15,000 from its own operations. That's $15,000 her money earned, while she slept, while she worked her job, while she lived her life. That $15,000 is equivalent to Chloe having a silent junior employee working full-time for her, contributing over $1,200 a month to the enterprise's goals without her lifting a finger. This is the recruitment event. The first $100,000 hires your first full-time employee, compound growth. The shift isn't magical, it's mathematical. Below $100,000, your contributions are the star. Your savings rate is the headline act. But once your enterprise's capital crosses that threshold, the script flips. The returns generated by the capital itself start to rival, and then quickly surpass, the new money you can personally contribute from your paycheck. Your role changes from the sole laborer to the CEO and capital allocator. Your job is no longer to feed the enterprise, but to direct it. This is why the graph of wealth creation isn't a straight line. It's a curve. The early stretch is a slow, uphill climb. The moment your enterprise's own earnings can recruit more capital, which then earns even more, the line begins to bend upward, almost of its own accord. You've built a machine that can now afford to buy a smaller machine to help out. The single biggest leak that keeps founders in the solo phase forever is misassigning their capital to non-productive roles. Imagine you finally hire that first employee, but you put them in a room with no tools and nothing to do. They cost you money and provide zero value. That's what happens when you park your foundational $50,000 or $75,000 in a checking account, earning 0.1%, or use it to finance a depreciating lifestyle. Your capital isn't recruiting, it's comatose. The enterprise is still entirely on your shoulders. The goal of the bootstrapping phase isn't just to accumulate cash, it's to accumulate deployable capital. Capital that is ready and positioned to start working the moment the enterprise is large enough to give it meaningful instructions. This is the critical preparation most people miss. They focus on the number, not the readiness of the team behind that number. Your enterprise's first official hire should be a relentless, low-cost executor, not a speculative superstar. The most reliable candidate for this job is a simple, broad market index fund. Think of it as your enterprise's first operations manager. It doesn't need constant supervision. It follows a clear, repeatable process, owning hundreds of companies, and it reliably executes, capturing the overall growth of the economy. It's not flashy, but it shows up for work every single market day, compounding the enterprise's capital. This is how you transition from founder CFO, micromanaging every dollar, to founder CEO, setting the vision and letting your now capable team execute. You stop asking, how much can I save this month? and start asking, how is my capital team performing this quarter? The psychological shift is profound. Money changes from something you control to something you collaborate with. Now, let's build a blueprint to reach that hiring event as fast as possible. You need to accelerate through the solo phase. This isn't about gambling for a lucky break. It's about optimizing your enterprise's pre-revenue operations, your personal cash flow, to fund your capital team's expansion at maximum speed. You have two primary levers, your savings rate and your capital's readiness. We'll call this the Frontier Acceleration Protocol. Phase 1 is ruthless allocation. Audit every dollar of your personal cash flow as if you're a venture capitalist funding a startup. Which expenses are essential R&D, like housing, food, skill development? Which are frivolous burn rate that delays your key hire? You're not cutting costs to be frugal. You're reallocating capital from non-essential burn to essential payroll for your future financial employees. Let's apply the protocol. Rohan, with his $75,000 enterprise, decides to optimize. He audits his burn and finds $300 a month going to subscriptions and impulse buys he barely values. He reallocates that capital. Instead of adding $500 a month to his enterprise, he now deploys $800. More importantly, he promotes his dormant capital. He moves his stagnant savings into that operations manager role, a broad index fund. His enterprise is now fully staffed and ready. At an 8% average annual return, his existing $75,000 is now on payroll, projected to generate about $6,000 this year. Combined with his increased $9,600 annual contributions, his enterprise is adding over $15,600 in new capital this year. He has effectively doubled the growth rate of his founding team. The frontier is now within clear sight. But what if you're starting from near zero? The protocol scales. Meet Anya. She's 23 with a net worth of $5,000 and student debt. Her enterprise is tiny, but the principles are identical. Her first goal isn't $100,000. It's her first $10,000 in deployable capital, her first junior intern. She implements ruthless allocation, freeing up $200 a month. She prioritizes building her emergency fund, the enterprise's operational runway, to $3,000. Every dollar after that is immediately assigned to her index fund operations manager. Her contributions are smaller than Rohan's, but her time horizon is longer. The moment her deployable capital hits $10,000 and starts earning even a modest return, she has proven her enterprise can generate capital from operations. She has her first part-time employee. The morale boost for the founder, Anya herself, is incalculable. The treadmill feeling vanishes because she can see the mechanism starting to turn. The final, most powerful part of the protocol is the promotion pipeline. You don't just hire one employee and stop. As your enterprise's capital grows, you promote portions of it into more specialized roles. That first $100,000 might be entirely in your core operations manager. The next $50,000 you could promote to a stability coordinator, a bond fund, or other asset that smooths out volatility. The $50,000 after that could be promoted to a global expansion lead, an international index fund. You are building a management structure for your capital. Each promotion increases the enterprise's sophistication, resilience, and ability to generate returns under different conditions. Your focus as CEO shifts entirely to strategic allocation and adding new capital through your savings, while your ever-growing team of financial employees does the daily work of wealth creation. This is why the explosion happens. It's not that returns are higher after $100,000. It's that the absolute dollars generated become visible, meaningful, and recursive. A 7% return on $20,000 is $1,400 a year. It feels like a rounding error. A 7% return on $150,000 is $10,500. It feels like a force of nature. That $10,500 gets reinvested, hired into the same system, and earns its own return the following year. The enterprise is now genuinely multi-layered. You have your personal capital contributions, your labor, and your capital's contributions, its labor, both funding the same mission. This is the leverage point where discipline meets autonomy, where your past decisions start actively working to fund your future. Your blueprint is now active. You are no longer just a saver. You are a founder building a capital enterprise. Your next milestone is not a sentimental round number. It's a specific mechanical hiring event, the point where your enterprise's own earnings can match a meaningful fraction of your personal contributions. For most, that trigger point is around the $100,000 frontier. Your mission is to get your deployable capital to that line with urgency and precision. Structure your cash flow to fund it. Position your capital to be ready to work the moment it arrives. Then step back and watch as your financial enterprise, finally fully staffed, begins to scale on its own. You have moved from labor to leverage. You are now building wealth with an army, not just your own two hands.
The single best financial decision you can make right now? Invest in your financial education. Hit subscribe to get our next breakdown and turn on notifications so you don't miss out, because the system only works if you apply it consistently. I'll see you in the next one.